Different roles, different experiences, different responsibilities, and different performance levels do matter. If someone has an advanced degree, let's say a PhD in something, not saying that you automatically have a PhD means you automatically have smarts or intelligence. But let's just go with the fact that everything in this conversation is credible. Would not somebody that has an advanced PhD in an area require more pay than someone that just has a bachelor's degree? A master's degree, would that not require more pay than someone with just a bachelor's degree? What about years of experience? I know a lot of teachers that come out of college and they're gung-ho to be teachers, but they have very little in the classroom experience. Should they get the same as a veteran teacher? What's fair? Fairness doesn't mean that the standards should be clear. I'll check that. Fairness does mean the standards should be clear. Wow, that's a big difference, right? When you say one thing or the other. So yeah, fairness means the standards should be clear, the process should be honest, and the opportunities should not be rigged. That's why a lot of times, if you're in the academic world, you see a scale of years experience, or maybe years experience goes down, and education, how many educational units you've earned. And then there's a sliding scale based on that. Fairness. So you know that your education and your year's experience will get you this much money. Now there's no favoritism involved. The process, or I should say the standards, very clear. This many years of experience, this much education, I match it up, and that's how much money I make. The process is honest. You have an opportunity to go back to school and get more education. Seems fair, not rigged, right? It's harder maybe in business, maybe in sales. People that make more money in sales, maybe they get promoted up the rank a little bit to assistant sales manager, then the sales manager, and then regional sales manager, and so on, because maybe they're putting in the work and maybe they're getting a bigger return, bringing in more money for the company. Well, you could do that too, could you not? So maybe that's fair. But you look at fairness versus equality. What about fairness versus getting your own way? This is something that's extremely important in today's society because not every disappointment is injustice. People like to think that, but it's not. Not every disappointment is injustice. Sometimes people say, hey, that's not fair. What they really are saying is that I did not get what I wanted. I did not get my own way. A student may get a low grade and call it unfair, even though the rubric was clear and the work was incomplete. How many teachers deal with that? An employee may not get promoted and call it unfair, even though someone else is more qualified. We hear that a lot, don't we? And there is some to it. There are some people that, get promoted, get an advancement, get some sort of favoritism, we can call it, and maybe they don't deserve it. But we're just talking in truth here. An athlete may not start, call it unfair, even though another player earned the position. A child may be disciplined, call it unfair, even though the consequence was clear. We see that in the justice system all the time. We see that in society. The news headlines are full of people that are not getting the punishment that they deserve, walking away and going and committing more crimes. Consequences are clear, but yet the judges and the judicial system. And so that makes it unfair for the victims. Fairness does not mean everyone's going to like the outcome. You might not like the outcome. It might not go your way. Doesn't mean it's an injustice. Doesn't mean something was wrong. Fairness means the process can stand in the light. It can be judged. It can be transparent.